As the heavily anticipated UFC 330 clash in Philadelphia approaches, Islam Makhachev is showing supreme confidence ahead of his upcoming title defense against Ian Garry. The champion envisions a quick and decisive finish, intending to rely on his trademark blueprint of unrelenting grappling pressure, heavy top control, and thoroughly exhausting his opposition. Taking a subtle jab at his challenger's priorities, Makhachev noted that Garry appears overly preoccupied with media appearances and spectacle, suggesting the Irish contender would be far better served dedicating that energy strictly to the training room ahead of August 15th. Looking at the congested welterweight division, Makhachev believes Michael Morales cannot afford to sit on the sidelines waiting for a title shot. With a crowded line of contenders, he urged Morales to lock in a true #1 contender bout against high-risk opposition like Shavkat Rakhmonov or Carlos Prates. Speaking of Carlos, Islam sees the dangerous Brazilian striker as an exciting future test. He also shut down any talk of retirement, confirming that active discussions with Turki Al-Sheikh regarding a potential crossover into boxing are very much alive.
Yeah, he seems to really respect you and your greatness and everything that you've done, but he also says, he wants to beat you in your own world on the ground, and he's going to bounce your head off the canvas and stop history from happening. What do you make of this?
Bro, I saw his couple interview. Honestly, he looks very bad in this interview. Better for him training more and do less interview, It look like somebody in the house control him and tell him what to say in the interview, He look very bad in the interview, honestly. Somebody put the fake news, I'm gonna retire it after this fight. No, it's not true, man. I want to keep going, The feeling when you stay in shape, become best fighter, is the amazing things, you're never gonna find something like this outside this sport, I want to keep fighting.
Following his successful transition to the light heavyweight division at UFC 329, Robert Whittaker is already setting his sights on the elite contenders at 205 pounds. The former middleweight champion is targeting Magomed Ankalaev as a desired future opponent, signaling his intent to immediately mix it up with the top tier of his new weight class. Rob shut down the idea of a rematch with Paulo Costa, noting that having already secured a victory over the Brazilian, there is no need to book the rematch. Despite walking away with a victory in his divisional debut, Rob expressed the disappointment regarding the broadcast coverage of his fight. Speaking recently in an interview with Bedtime MMA, he admitted to feeling unsettled by what he perceived as heavy bias from Joe Rogan and the commentary team throughout the matchup. Whittaker specifically took issue with the broadcast booth, suggesting that the rest of the division had figured out a blueprint to defeat him, noting his confusion over the narrative given his actual performance inside the octagon. Now, let's dive into his call-out.
I'd love to get in there with Ank. I'd love to get in there with, Jan just had a loss, but I would have loved to have jumped in there with him. That Bogdan would have been great. Anyone up. People keep throwing the name Costa out there, but I fought him before. There's a lot of other guys to fight as well. I won't fight the boys that I train with. If we reach a point where we're 1, 2, and 3 with me, Carlos, and Nav, then I'm sure we can all sit down and find a way to get paid bank. Yeah. But there's a lot of people to fight, and I've still got some work to do for myself in the rankings. I'm enjoying the progression. I'm enjoying coming up and going through the rankings again. It feels like a new chapter because of that.
Brand new footage of Islam Makhachev and Khabib Nurmagomedov sparring has surfaced, showing the two Dagestani stars working on their striking ahead of Islam's next challenge. However, fans quickly noticed that the footage cuts off at a very interesting moment, leaving many wondering what happened during that exchange. Now, Team Khabib member Zubaira Tukhugov has revealed the story behind the clip and explained what was actually going on. According to Tukhugov, Islam's camp for the Ian Garry fight has already started with high intensity, and Khabib has been heavily involved in his preparation. He revealed that Khabib recently put him through a tough sparring session, specifically focusing on intense striking pressure and trying to replicate the kind of style Islam could face against Garry. Let's dive into what Zubaira had to say.
У него и у Хабиба, и у Ислама топ борьба, грэпплинг, и они совсем два разных тактики. Ислам, когда Ислам, он очень более техничный, такой, снизу особенно, он хорошо борется. А Хабиб давит жестко. Он после первого раунда уничтожал в боксе. физикой дает, и весом давит, и не дает стать функции физика. И головой тоже он хорошо работает. Рассечение что-то, не знаю, короче.
Not just for the face, the body too. I want you to get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Move. Go, Islam. Stay in the middle. Circle and stay in the middle, Islam. Don't step against the wall.
You can't wait. I mean, you're there. You know, I don't want that. You're there. 2 minutes.
Yes. Follow.
Do it again.
Ilia Topuria has reacted to all the drama surrounding his infamous corner stool, and the entire situation has completely backfired on Paddy Pimblett in front of the entire fight community. The bizarre feud kicked off when Paddy went on social media claiming he had personally bought the red corner stool Ilia sat on during his stoppage loss to Justin Gaethje. Paddy paraded the piece of memorabilia online, framing it as a massive flex and the ultimate troll move to get inside Topuria's head. However, the entire stunt was exposed as a total lie. A diehard fan came forward with undeniable video proof and auction receipts, showing that she was the actual winner who dropped $13,700 on the stool. She specifically bought it to protect the item and prevent Topuria's rivals from using it as a weapon to mock him. The revelation completely dismantled Paddy's story, exposing him for staging a fake flex just to gain clout. With the Liverpool native caught red-handed lying about the purchase, the entire MMA world was waiting to see how Topuria would react once his rival got publicly exposed. And Ilia couldn't resist dropping a response of his own to seal Pimblett's embarrassment. Under the post about the stool situation, Ilia took a shot at Paddy by calling him a mushroom and adding laughing emojis. Speaking about the lightweight division, coach Javier Mendez has already started discussing potential UFC matchups for Usman Nurmagomedov if he eventually makes the move from the PFL. The legendary coach suggested several elite names as possible debut opponents, including Arman Tsarukyan, Ilia Topuria, Max Holloway, and Paddy Pimblett. However, Mendez made it clear that Arman Tsarukyan would be his preferred choice, believing that matchup would immediately test Usman against one of the most dangerous contenders in the division. With Usman still undefeated and continuing to build his reputation outside the UFC, a potential arrival in the lightweight division could instantly create some of the biggest fights at 155 pounds. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications to make sure you never miss daily MMA news.